I watch you on Francis and Friends program a couple times, and I got the chance to talk to Sister Francis and ask her about interracial dating and marriage, and that they are against it. I don't know if you're aware of that or not. And so I'm like, well, what's wrong with blacks and whites marrying or getting together? I went to an interracial church in New Orleans. I'm from New Orleans. And, I wanted to date a white girl. And when they found out I wanted to date her, the pastor and all of them at the church leadership, they said that's not of God. So what I'm asking you, as a black man, I'm sure you've probably liked some white women that you were attracted to, or maybe you married to one. How are
you going to be sure about that about me? Why did you want to date a white woman?
Well, it's not that I wanted to date one.
You said you saw one at this church that you wanted to date.
She was attractive, and I'll date an Asian woman, a Mexican woman. It doesn't matter, a black woman. If they're attractive to me and they look appealing, I would date them. But I don't want anyone saying to me, "Hey, that's not of God."
Oh, so what's your question for me? What's your question for me?
My question to you is, people like Sister Francis and people like that who believe that blacks shouldn't be able to marry anyone that they choose, and then other thing is,
what's your question for me?
My question for you, Brother Jesse, what are you going to say to Sister Francis and them next time you're on their show? And are you going to denounce that to your listening audience? Say, hey, I think we are equal. I think you should be able to marry who you want. That's my question. Would you take a stand against that?
Against people who disagree with interracial marriage?
With people that say, you, Jesse, can't go to our country club because you're black.
Now you're changing it. Is it about marriage or about the country club?
Well, it's all in the same. If they don't think you equal.
Are you going to marry the white woman at the white country club?
Am I going to marry the white woman at the white country club?
Let me ask, what is your question for me?
My question for you, how can you, as a black man, entertain and sit in the face and grin at white people like Francis, who think that you're not even shouldn't be allowed to date or marry anyone white, and you smile in their face?
You're smiling
That's
in
my
my
question.
face.
Why are you smiling in their face?
First of all, I don't know what Frances thinks about that, and whatever she thinks about it, she has a right to think that way. And I have no right to be angry at her for the way she thinks. She's an individual, and she has a right. This is America. It doesn't make her wrong because she thinks that way. If it's true, I have no idea. I'm only taking your word. I'm only hearing you say that. But if you want to know what I think about it, I have dated white women before, at least one or two. And I've never dated a Mexican. The rest have been black. I personally prefer a black woman as a wife because we have enough problems in this country as it is, and black women need good men. And so I prefer to marry a black woman because I'm black, and my children need to have a black daddy and a black mama. So it doesn't make me wrong or anyone else wrong who if Frances believe that, she has a right to believe that. She's not wrong for believing that. She's not a racist. I understand what she means. And then interracial children, hold on, Kevin. Hold on, let me take a break. Interracial children have a lot of problems. They're confused about their identity. So you have a beef with Frances. Frances is a good lady. She loves what's right. She loves the country. It's your problem and not her problem that you hate white people.
Well, Brother Peters, can you hear me?
Peterson,
I don't hate white people. Like I said.
Then you called up pretending you wanted to ask me what did I think about interracial marriage and that Frances disagreed. And then you went to this thing about the country clubs and so on and so on. Am I going to go along with Frances? So you're not being direct and honest in your motive.
Well, can I let me say this. The reason I'm going over to that and that is because I'm hurt, Brother Peterson.
Why are you
I'm
hurt?
Let me tell you why I'm hurt. Because I worked for this guy in Dallas. He's a very rich guy, white guy. And I asked him, he said, "Oh, Kevin, you're one of the greatest people that I know." And I said, one day I said, "Well, maybe I can go golfing with you at the Dallas Country Club." He said, "Oh, no blacks allowed there." I said, "No blacks allowed?" I said, "Well, what about Tiger Woods?" He said, "No." I said, "Well, what about President Obama?" He said, "Hell no." So I said, "Well, why you don't?"
I agree with him on that one.
Okay, well, that's fine. I said, "Well, why you don't take a stand against that?" He says he's a Christian, like all these people I went to church with. Say, "Kevin, we love you. You're such a good black guy."
How old are you, Kevin?
I'm 47 now.
When he told you you're not welcome there, you should have just said, "Thank you, sir. I appreciate that." He has a right to do that.
Well, I'm not saying.
And what you should do is go build your own club. You're a grown man. Stop being weak and complaining like a little liberal woman. It's time out for black men acting so girly. Go build your own club. This is America.
And I think you're right. You know what? And that's why I'm tired of phony people and fake people telling me, "Hey, we love you, brothers and sisters."
But you're the one that's phony and fake. It's not them, it's you.
Okay, well, you think
because
that,
if you were a man, you would show them love. You wouldn't be complaining about them not showing you love. You show the love. You be the example of what you want others to be. You don't ramp and whine and talk about racism and all that. Be a man. Black men need to grow up.
Well, you think I'm whining?
You're whining like a little liberal female. Why don't you grow up?
Because I want...
You're 40-something years old and you carrying on.
Well, look, do you think I don't want you to be able to go to China without being followed around?
What are you talking about now?
Well, you said that one of your guys on the show said that since those guys been over in China, now they're going to have the security following all the black people around the store,
right?
Because those 3 individuals stole. So we're going to judge a whole race by what 3 people did.
No, we're going to judge the whole race because the whole race is allowing generation and generation of other blacks to just be criminals, have lack of self-respect, and a lack of respect for others. What do you expect? You don't know which one is going to do right if the masses of them are doing wrong.
Well,
and it's because of weak men like you. Are you married?
Yes, I am.
To a white woman?
No, I'm not.
You married
a sister.
Oh, and do you have children?
I got 3 beautiful children.
Why did you marry your sister?
No, a sister, not my sister. I married a sister, meaning a black woman.
Oh.
I thought you was from the hood. I thought you.
No, not from the hood.
Okay.
No.
Oh, okay.
No hood here.
That's what that means.
Oh, okay. But I bet you a poor example for your wife and children.
Well, why you want to think that, Brother Peter?
Because you're so weak.
You see that? I'm coming at you with love. I don't hate you. I disagree with you.
No, I don't hate you either. That's why I'm rebuking you. Because a man shouldn't be whining, crying racism, looking at someone else and judging them. You should be setting a higher standard for your wife and children.
Well, let me say
So if the man told you can't go to his club, go and say, "Thank you, sir." This man has a right to say that and do that. Go build your own club. Don't be whining. What's wrong with you? You can't build your own club.
All right. Well, I got a question. Can you help me build a club?
You still begging?
I'm not begging. I'm saying you and I can go in this together because we 2 black men. We can't go to certain places.
I would not go in business with you if the last thing on this side of heaven because you're weak.
Well, can you help me be stronger?
I'm helping you now. Drop your anger. Forgive your father for not being a good example. Forgive your mother for turning you into a wimp. And then start to grow up.
Well, let me say this about my parents. I had 2 wonderful parents.
No, you didn't.
And one that I just lost.
You did not have 2 wonderful parents. That's not true.
My Brother Peterson?
Because if you had 2 wonderful parents, you wouldn't be weak.
No, I call it compassion.
No, it's weak. Weakness. You call it what you want. But that's what people do when they're wrong. They call it something else rather than just admitting that they're wrong. And so if you could just admit to yourself, you don't have to tell anyone else, that you're weak and that your parents failed you, then you can start getting better. You need to.
Well,
how old are your children?
They're one in their 20s, one is in teens, and one is 10.
And how are they doing in life?
Very well.
They have children out of wedlock?
No children. My son, the oldest one, he got about 20-some offers from different universities to go to acting school. My other son, he's a freshman. He's a gifted and talented, and he's a star basketball player at his high school. And my daughter, she's 10 years old, and she make all A's.
But I don't care about any of that. I want to know, are they young people with character? Or are they running around blaming white people too?
Well, they don't blame anyone.
Yeah, why not? You've done it.
Well, Brother Peters, you made a point about identity, and if blacks and whites were to get together, they wouldn't know their identity. My question to you is, were they concerned about identity when during slavery they raped our women?
Here we go again.
Well, they raped our women.
They raped your woman. Which women of yours did they rape?
Not my woman, but our ancestors. And when I did my ancestor DNA, I come back with 30% European blood.
How do you know they raped your ancestors?
Well, how else did we come about?
How do you know they raped your ancestor?
Well, maybe they didn't, because I don't think all of them were raped. But what I'm saying is,
why are you saying that? And you don't know if they raped your ancestors or not.
Well, what I'm saying to you, we weren't permitted to marry, right?
We who?
Oh, blacks and whites.
Were you prevented from getting married?
We weren't permitted to marry.
No, were you prevented?
No, I'm not.
Do you know anyone personally who were prevented from getting married?
Oh, yes.
No, you don't, man. Stop lying.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Who prevented them from getting married?
The church.
I'm talking about your slave master, man.
I'm not talking about, but I'm talking about the church.
Let me do this. I want you to get a copy of my book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood, and you'll see yourself in there. I highly recommend you get it. And tell your children to stop complaining about racism, that you made a mistake by setting that example for them. And then let me know how that goes.
All right, Brother Peterson.
Are you the head of your wife?
Yes, I am.
Will she think that?
Yes, she does.
Okay, I'm about to talk to your wife one day.
Well, I think all our wives might have an issue, so, you know.
But drop your anger, Kevin, and grow up.
Well, I'm not angry, but I just want us to
Anybody that has excuses are angry. Call me again, all right? Call me again, okay. Kevin. All right, buddy. Amazing. Back in a moment.